Good afternoon. I'm Stephen Jackson, principal of the historic Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Honorable Mayor Gray, Chancellor Kaya Henderson, Ward 5 Councilman Kenyon McDuffie, Ward 4 Council Member Muriel Bowser, living legends, students, parents, families, faculty, alumni, civic leaders, and past ROTC cadets, sports and athletic figures. Welcome to the official ribbon cutting and opening of the new Dunbar Stadium and Athletic Field Complex. We are so excited to have you here to usher in the fifth period in the history of the historic Paul Lawrence Dunbar. Yes, a new era is dawning. Just a few weeks ago, the mayor, the chancellor, and state superintendent released the 2014 DC CAS results. We were all excited to learn that the test results revealed that Dunbar topped all DCPS public schools and charter schools in reading, and all high schools in reading and math growth gains. It's a great day for Dunbar. We attribute these gains to the hard work by our faculty in increasing academic rigor in the classrooms, our ninth grade academy, Dunbar's extended day, and our Saturday school academy. My leadership team is committed to moving Dunbar from good to great. We are honored to have the opportunity to make this event happen for you, our students, their families, and communities in this great building, sports and athletic complex. And last but not least, we are so excited to build on the great legacy of the historic Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School. Assisted by the Dunbar alumni, could y'all please stand, Dunbar alumni? All Dunbar alumni, please stand. Oh man, you guys are in full force out here. Oh, okay. Mr. McDuffie, I see you want to stand up. That's all right. I see your feet tapping over there. Honorary Dunbar alumni. Our faculty and staff had the awesome week of professional development. Our students and parents have been oriented to our high expectations, and today you get to engage with the city, school, and community officials as they proclaim the importance of this new sports and athletic facility to help us strengthen the education and social program of this great school. We have planned 2 great days of celebration for all. Please fully partake and enjoy.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your presence today. I am Carrie Thornhill, Treasurer and School Improvement Liaison to the Dunbar Administration for the Dunbar Alumni Federation. 1 year ago, almost to the day, we gathered in the new exquisite theater to mark, dedicate, and celebrate the opening of this stunning teaching and learning edifice. At that time, we marveled as the Honorable Mayor Vincent C. Gray declared this 21st educational facility a monument of learning. Today, representing the best of Dunbar's alumni, our hardworking, brilliant, highly effective, thoughtful, and compassionate 21st century leader is again with us to mark, dedicate, and celebrate the opening of the gorgeous Dunbar Stadium and Athletic Field Complex. Join me in thanking him for his continuing visionary and steadfast leadership and governance of our great city. One of my favorite people, the Honorable Mayor Gray.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. I want to first of all thank my dear friend, my longtime friend, Carrie Thornhill, who herself is a graduate, of course, of Dunbar High School. You know a Dunbar High School graduate because they talk like Carrie. You don't go to other schools and they talk about edifices, okay? That's Dunbar brilliance right there, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Carrie Thornhill. And I am proud to call her absolutely a dear and longtime friend. Carrie, thank you for what you do. You and Jim Pittman, who of course is an alumnus of of Dunbar High School. Yeah. I'm getting ready to get down to the university, right? Who is an alumnus of Dunbar High School also. You all have done extraordinary work in making sure that we have a very strong alumni federation here at Dunbar. And, you keep things going. And there's so many of us who are so grateful for what you do. I'm going to ask you all again for a big hand for Jim Pittman and Carrie Thornhill. I tell you, too, following in a long line of fantastic principals, isn't Principal Jackson? I mean, his enthusiasm, his commitment, this man works, I think he works 24/7. I don't know if we charge you for room and board, but we're not. I'm going to make sure that they don't do it because he is here 24/7 working on behalf of our kids. He even has his son enrolled in Dunbar High School at this stage. He was in New York, and now he's living in D.C. So, Principal Jackson, thank you so much for what you do on behalf of our kids. I want to say good afternoon also to Councilmember Kenyon McDuffie. He is the council member of Ward 5. He's a wannabe. And it's all right. I understand, okay? He went to Wilson High School. Yeah. There was a time when I was a chairman of the council, there were 3 Wilson graduates who were on the council at the same time. And they used to love to brag about it. I didn't say anything the first time they said it. And so they said it again when we were in session. And I said, that's all right, guys. Just remember, it takes 3 Wilson graduates to equal 1 Dunbar graduate. And, it really is. It's great to be here at UDC, University of Dunbar Crimson. Isn't this spectacular? I mean, look at this. Pastor Edmonds, I remember us being over there. I think I was running for the council at the time, and we were over there for some kind of forum that Wynn, I think, was putting on over your church. And they had brought somebody. Remember that, Phil? They brought somebody over there, man, to tell us about the condition of the track and whatnot. And I'm not going to name the person. He had something to do with Dunbar at the time. And I said, you know what? You don't know anything about Dunbar, man. I said, first of all, I'm a graduate of Dunbar. That man right over there is a graduate of Dunbar, Philip Portlock. We all were committed graduates. And he started telling us about the condition of the track, and the track needed to be fixed. Y'all think it's been fixed? We're really proud of this school, and that's the way Dunbar folks roll, ladies and gentlemen. We now have a first-class school that, as Carrie indicated, was opened just about a year ago today. It was something that we desperately wanted to have happen. There are a lot of us who came by this school on many days just to see how the progress was going, and we wanted to have a first-class stadium to be able to also complement the school itself. And that is exactly what we have. I've come by here on a number of days just to see the progress also. Come by here on rainy Saturdays and other days to see how things were going. And we have a great facility at this stage, a facility that will used to host football and baseball games, right, Harvey? The home plate was up there in that corner, right up there, and it was an equidistant field, right, Phil? It was a field where if you hit it out of here, man, you had done something. It wasn't one of those, small fields like you sometimes found in some of our high schools, Brian. But today, look at this facility. This facility will host, great football games. It will also be home for so many great athletes following in the tradition of great athletics at Dunbar High School. Tomorrow, there will be a game between Dunbar and McKinley Tech. I went to junior high school at Langley, and Langley was next door. Is next door to McKinley Tech High School. And so when time came to go to high school, I got this notice that said, you're going to Dunbar. And all my friends from Langley were going to McKinley. And so I asked the question. I said, why am I not going to McKinley? And they said, you don't live in McKinley's zone. I said, well, how could I live in Langley's zone and not live in McKinley's zone? And I never got an answer to that, council member. To this day, I have no idea what that was about. And you get to a point, Principal, where you just leave it alone, all right? How you doing, Chancellor? It's good to see you with the Dunbar shirt on today. But again, this is a moment like it did last year that evokes nostalgia, it evokes pride, happiness, and then hope for the future for the young people who will have a chance to attend Dunbar High School. When I was riding over here, I was thinking that Dunbar has been on this site. This is, I think, the 98th year that Dunbar is on this site. And no, I was not a student in 1916, It ought to be a big celebration, Principal, in a couple of years when Dunbar celebrates the 100th year of being on this site. I think this is the third school that's been on this site. There was the, iconic building that was up on that end, and then there was the not-so-iconic building that was up on this end. I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm just telling you how I feel, okay? I don't think that school should have been torn down up there. It should have been renovated. But it was, and here we are now, all celebrating a brand new Dunbar High School. It is a LEED Platinum high school, which is really about as high as you can go in terms of LEED certification. But, in addition to the athletic programs that will be played, athletic events that will be played in the stadium, I hope that it becomes home to something else again that was really Dunbar, and that was the cadet program. The Dunbar, wait a minute. I don't need this anyway. It was home to one of the absolute most fantastic cadet programs in the city. And Dunbar was sterling, year after year after year after year. And some of us were the recipients of the tutelage of a person by the name of William H. Rumsey. And we have an aquatic center named for him. He was absolutely a stickler. And it was one of the funniest people you ever want to meet. Phil, you remember the day that we were standing over there, and there was a company battalion that was out here practicing. The rest of us were standing on the side. And he said to us, he said, you know what, so-and-so, and I won't call his name, I promise you he's going to do something wrong. I promise you he's going to do. So we looked at it, and here they are marching, in synchronization around the field. Now, you know how the military is, right? This guy that he was talking about reaches in his pocket, pulls out a handkerchief, got his rifle in one hand, puts his rifle over here, and starts wiping off his forehead. And everybody starts laughing. He says, see, I told you he was going to do something. But by the time we got to the competition, which annually was held at Eastern High School, he had straightened that out. And once again, Dunbar High School did a sterling job. So I hope that this stadium is not only home to a great football team, not only home to a great soccer team, because soccer is a sport that is coming as well, but I hope it is a place where students can come out again and practice the ROTC, cadet skills, whatever we want to call it, just like these young people demonstrated up here today. This is a great day, ladies and gentlemen, and you can't imagine how much pride I feel in having been a student here and having been the mayor of the District of Columbia when we were able to bring this school into being on the site of Dunbar, the new Paul Lawrence Dunbar High School that now has a new stadium that will be played in tomorrow. And I know I'm supposed to be council member completely neutral, but McKinley High School better look out tomorrow.
I guess neutrality goes out the window. But that's a good thing. Everybody all right? So let me just say this, because Mayor Gray talked about his friends and all of the great people that he knew and know who actually went to Dunbar. Some of you really don't know that most of my family members went to Dunbar. My grandmother, my grandfather, my aunts and uncles. In fact, one of my uncles was best friends with Walter Fontroy, and they used to be in the singing group together. And I didn't even know that my uncle and Walter Fontroy was in the same singing group. My uncle Harold Banks. He graduated in the class of 1951. And Mr. Pittman knows him very well. And but this is my family school. So people, when they started asking me questions, well, why are you bringing your son to Dunbar? Well, because this is my family school. It's quite obvious. But at any rate, Mayor Gray talked about me working all day long, 724. But the person who I'm going to bring up, she also is working 724, if not 825. Because every time I hear about the wonderful work that she's doing, she's working, she's meeting with people, she's talking with people, she's making things happen. And to bring greetings, we are honored to hear from our hardworking, smart, and high-performing leader of the District of Columbia Public Schools. Please join me in welcoming the illustrious Chancellor Kaya Henderson. Let's bring on with a well-deserved round of applause. Well-deserved round. The illustrious. And she's wearing a Dunbar shirt.
Sure enough. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of standing with the United States Secretary of Education, Arne Duncan, and he chose a DC public school to make a huge announcement. And as he was giving remarks at that announcement, he kept saying over and over again, wherever I go, I talk about DC public schools, because DC public schools is doing things that other school districts in this country are just not doing. And so wherever I am in the country, I talk about how DCPS is leading the nation in improving student achievement. And I don't know any other Secretary of Education who has ever stood up and said that DCPS is leading the nation. But I want you to know that, because I want you to know that not only are our city leaders proud of the work that we're accomplishing, but on the national front, at the federal level, people recognize that DCPS is a very different place. And part of the reason why we're a very different place is because we have a mayor who has been 250% committed to making sure that we have the best public education system in the country. Can you give a round of applause to my boss? Dunbar is only a small fraction of the kind of transformation that Mayor Gray has brought to DC public schools. He's put money where other people wouldn't put money. He has given us the political cover to do some of the radical things that we need to do. And he's made sure that not just his alma mater, but in fact schools all across the city are beautiful the way this one is, and are the kinds of schools that our young people deserve. And I literally cannot, I can't mention him without mentioning my partner, Brian Hanlon, in the same breath. I would have on a nice suit or whatever, but it's the day before school starts, and so I'm running around looking at modernizations and things. And today I was at Payne Elementary School, where we've done a total modernization of the Eastern building, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I was at Janney, where even though we modernized it a couple of years ago, we had to add on a wing because more young people are coming to it. I was at Shepherd, where, I mean, the building was okay, it was fine, but it's now beautiful all over the city, from plumber to, there are 8 modernization projects, major modernization projects going on just this summer. And thousands of young people will be in a very different learning environment because of our great partners at DGS. And in the course of 8 weeks, they make magic happen. And so I want to take my hat off and my hand off to my partner, Brian Hanlon, because he makes our schools beautiful. And it's not just the mayor and it's not just DGS. In fact, we have council members like Councilmember McDuffie who have put their legislative money where their mouth is, and have funded us and allowed us to do all the things that we need to do. And in fact, I mean, literally, it's a very different place. I tell people all the time I have the best job in the city, except my boss maybe, but I absolutely have the best job in the country, because changing education is very, very difficult. But it's more difficult when you don't have a city that supports you. And everyone, from the mayor to our government agencies to our city council, but most importantly to parents and alumni like you, who come out all the time and support the work that we are doing, who stayed with us even when we weren't necessarily worthy to be stayed with. We appreciate you. I feel like the entire city is at our backs, and we're on the precipice of something great. And I think today's ceremony is just illustrative of the fact that our children deserve a world-class stadium and a world-class school. They deserve world-class educators like the team at Dunbar, and we're going to provide them with a world-class education. So I'm going to go back to looking at schools to make sure that we're ready for Monday, and in fact that we're ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow we welcome 5,000 volunteers who will be participating in Beautification Day to make sure that every single school, except Dunbar, looks great, because this one already does, when we welcome back our young people on Monday. So congratulations and thank you so much for Dunbar, but for all of DCPS.
We so appreciate you, Madam Chancellor. We really do. Give her another round of applause. And we also appreciate you, Brian Hanlon, like our Chancellor does. Brian is the director for the Department of General Services that actualized this awesome legacy project. And we want him now to come and bring greetings and thank all the professionals and craftspeople who work with and for the city to make this happen. Bring them on. Yes, a native Washingtonian, that's right.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the mayor's trying to tease me now. I didn't get into Dunbar. But I will say, you know, I had never met a group of alumni that have the spirit and love of the place where they went to school until I came here. And you give the Gonzaga boys a run for their money, so congratulations on that. I've been with the mayor pretty much all day, and we've been listening to Chuck Brown music and doing some good stuff. I might even start dancing here for you. But here you go. I'm going to hold off on the dancing. But I want to say, I wanted to start by thanking the mayor for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime to lead an agency that, you know, I like Kaya, I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in the world. This is a great job. We touch everything. Schools, parks, and municipal buildings and firehouses, and it's just such a great honor to be able to be a part of that and to have served you, Mayor Gray. So grateful for that. And it's days like this that, you know, we have a summer, and I call them summer miracles. 8 weeks of getting these projects done, and the contractor team and our team is just working so hard without rest, and to bring it all in at the end. And those are tough days, but these days make it great. It's almost as hot and sticky, although I feel some pleasant breeze. Almost as hot and sticky as it was cold and raw, what feels like forever ago, but just yesterday, about 3 years ago, that we were on nearly this very spot. I showed up dressed kind of similar to I am now without an overcoat, and it was freezing. But what a road we've come down, and so great road. So I want to thank the project team and talk a little bit about the project itself. This is phase 2 was about a $12 million project. I want to say that DGS is committed to ensuring that at least 50% of our contracting dollars go to district-based companies, and we meet or exceed that every year, and we continue to push the envelope. We actually expanded that program. We work closely with contractors and all of our vendors to make sure that these numbers are real and that we're helping to grow businesses in capacity. We, a couple years ago, started a program called Workforce Incentive Program, where we incentivize contractors to hire district residents. And to date, we have averaged about 44% of the hours worked on district projects are by district residents, and this project is no exception. We had 43 CBE contractors involved on this project. That was 58% CBE participation. So those are numbers that I'm very proud of. I've thanked the mayor. I want to thank Councilmember McDuffie, who is also my oversight chair in addition to leading Ward 5, and a pleasure to work with. I want to thank some of our partners, DCRA, Rabia Sabakan, who I don't believe is here, but was at the Chuck Brown opening. He helps us get our permits, and DDOT, of course. O Street is reopening. There's some finishing touches going along the edge of it. We worked with DDOT, the Department of Transportation, and the Department of Environment. There is going to be a series of stormwater management installations along that, so it's going to be not only reopened in accordance with the old L'Enfant plan, but also a green street, and part of Mayor Gray's deep commitment to sustainability. Thank our design build team, Perkins and Eastman and Moody Nolan, the architects who designed this, and you can tell when you look at every detail that they sweated the details and they cared about them. And I think a great partnership with Smoot Gilbane, who just did terrific work in building this, from that building to everything that we're looking at, and I'm grateful to them. Up on the roof of Dunbar, and this happened shortly after we had our 5-day-long celebration. We're having 5 days for this, right? For Miss Thornhill? This is day 1, right? There you go. We negotiated and executed the first power purchase agreement, which is like a public-private partnership for the solar array that's on top of Dunbar. It's the largest solar array in the city, and produces a lot of electricity for the building, about 20% of its load, which is, we're very proud of that. Additionally, after we built that, we began to dig a series of geothermal wells. And those geothermal wells, there's 362 of them, and they're taller. The wells are actually deeper than the Washington Monument. And I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's 33 times around the District of Columbia on the Beltway with the amount of piping that's involved in those wells. And that actually delivers water to the building that's around 59 degrees. So it sharply reduces the need for heating and cooling, and it also happens to be the perfect temperature for Guinness, which is something I may enjoy later today, after what feels like the 7th ribbon cutting of the week. Yeah, it is. So again, just to close out, quick thanks. Our DGS team, Teddy Geber-Michael. Where are you, Teddy? There he is. He's being shy, but Teddy's back there. Teddy's been here since day 1 and sweating the details. Greg Benson, Don Denman, Dwight Gopal, who have also been here throughout. Our ANC commissioners, Sylvia Pinckney, and of course, Joyce Robinson Paul. And again, Ms. Thornhill, the Dunbar Alumni Association, thank you very much. Principal Jackson, thank you too.
Let's give another round of applause for Brian Hannon, please. Thank you. What a great partner. Dunbar is proud to have the Honorable Kenyon McDuffie representing its interests and that of its neighbors and communities. And sometimes I like to make a little joke here and there to Mr. McDuffie. but he's a wonderful young man who has been a good partner to Dunbar. So please join me in thanking him for his energetic and thoughtful leadership as he helps us mark this momentous occasion. Councilman McDuffie. Let's bring him on with a well-deserved round of applause. How you feeling today, sir?
Good, thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you, Principal Jackson. I want to thank Principal Jackson and everybody else for inviting me here to be a part of this very important occasion today. As a Ward 5 council member, it really gives me great pleasure to be here to celebrate this. I know that we are all here excited to see this new facility go along with this great school that's here, the state-of-the-art space. I know we're all going to be excited to cheer on the Crimson Tide on Saturday when they take on McKinley Tech. We can give a round of applause for that. Yeah, absolutely. It is, I know. I'm split. But while I'm here, I'm going to tell you I'm going to root for Dunbar. So I know it's hard, though. It's hard. I got to tell you, I'm often the butt of jokes when I come here to Dunbar because I've got great people, great friends like Mayor Vincent C. Gray and Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, both of whom I've had the opportunity to work for. And they both give me a hard time for not being a Dunbar alum. And I got to tell you, and I told Ms. Winnington that I wasn't going to talk about not being a Dunbar alum, but they brought this up. It is so hard for me to escape Dunbar. Not simply because I'm the Ward 5 council member and I represent the area in which the school lies, and I come to attend these great events. Even when I'm away, not focused on council business. I was away with my wife and kids in Florida last week, and I was reading a book, which I don't get to do often, and I picked up a book that was recommended to me called Leading the Race. And it's about African Americans in the District of Columbia between 1880 and 1920. And man, it seemed like every other page I was reading about somebody from Dunbar. On my vacation, mind you. And so, I mean, it really hit me that, it's not just that folks from Dunbar like to boast about what's been accomplished, but it's a sense of pride that you have when you have that connection to this school. When you have a connection to a school with a deep history, and that's really been such a strong part of the fabric of education here in the District of Columbia and what we do and when we want to recognize a great job. I mean, it's folks like athletes who we like to recognize as well, and we know a lot of these household names like Aurelius Ben, Josh Cribbs, Vernon Davis, his brother Vontae Davis, Mike Smith, who played basketball here. But it's also the focus on academics, which has always been the case since the days of M Street School. It had faculty, principals, and students, folks like Kelly Miller, Anna J. Cooper, Mary Church Terrell, Vincent C. Gray, Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, Carrie Thornhill, and one of the people who, quite frankly, has personally inspired me, who's no longer with us, but has been an inspiration to my legal career, and that's Charles Hamilton Houston. I mean, these folks have helped to shape the country that we live in today, and I'm quite frankly just proud to have that connection, to have that affiliation. And quite frankly, like Brian Hanlon, I wasn't able to get into Dunbar. I played basketball. I didn't play baseball. I played basketball and football, and I played in the early 90s. And when I was playing basketball, I was being recruited by different schools. One of the schools that was not recruiting me was Dunbar because of all the great players that they had. And so, it was a closer school. I live right on North Capitol Street, but I had to catch the bus all the way up to Wilson to go there. But this institution truly is responsible for educating and molding our youth into future leaders. And we can see that by the folks who are seated here today. Generations of Washingtonians have attended Dunbar and have maintained strong ties to the school. Many of you are here today because of those strong ties and core values that you learned at your time here in Dunbar. And it's because of your hard work and dedication of our city's leadership, folks like Principal Jackson, Dunbar's faculty, staff, and coaches, as well as students and alumni, parents and community partners, the new stadium and athletic complex today is a reality. And it's a monumental achievement, and everybody deserves a round of applause for that, please. This investment will have a lasting impact and foster an environment that will allow our children to learn, thrive, and succeed. In closing, I look forward to many more home games in this amazing stadium. It's my hope that this new stadium will inspire Dunbar students to apply themselves in sports, in extracurricular activities, but also, most importantly, in the classroom. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this as a Wilson alum. I look forward to many more momentous occasions to celebrate here in Dunbar. Thank you all.
We love him dearly. At this time, we'd like to bring on one of our community leaders. Joyce Robinson Paul is our Advisory Neighborhood Commissioner for Dunbar, 5E05, and she will recognize our fabulous school improvement team.
Okay. Good afternoon. First giving honor to God for making this possible, and we really have to put him in there. As the ANC commissioner for this area, we have seen so many beautiful things happen in our area, and all of them have been through the leadership of our mayor and our city council person. We have seen a lot going on. I have 4 children who are Dunbar alumni. I have a husband, Dr. Albert Paul, who's an alumni of Dunbar, and I also have a sister-in-law that's a Dunbar alumni. So Dunbar alumni are all through my family, all through the fabric of my family. But we are happy to be here today. We are happy. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge all of the community residents. Would you please stand? Stand. Okay, we have a few community people. We have our past ANC commissioner, Mr. Thomas, and we have quite a few people who are students, PTA, and all of you. I've served on the PTA. I served on the band as a band parent. We just served everywhere we could to make sure that our children were successful in the school. And that's what it amounts to. All of the parents, all of the representatives, all of the ministers. I work with Reverend Edmonds. He invites all the children to go to the church picnic and all of the activities that we have in the neighborhood. And we're just trying to make sure that we are intricately involved in this whole process of being supportive of our Dunbar students, alumni, PTA, and everyone. So I'd just like to say thank you for finishing up what started as a beautiful school, and also for opening up O Street. First Street is a nightmare, and we really need to have that cut so we can cut through O Street to get out of the madness. But anyway, we'd like to say that y'all are doing a great job, and you have done a great job, and we enjoy, and we'll make sure that our residents are a part of walking the track and being involved and supportive of everything that you're doing here. Thank you.
So how did I get to be the only one with the suit on, though? And perspiring vigorously after being out here planting all those trees this morning. Wow. Exactly. I'd like to welcome everyone. Before I acknowledge the, Mr. Scott, okay. Before I acknowledge the former athletes and coaches, I would be remiss if I did not ask the members of Smoot and Gilbane construction team to stand, please. Come on. I have no idea what went on at the other schools that had to be renovated, but here, I mean, some of the smallest things, like even helping with the trash, these guys did. Some things that they probably didn't have to do. They could have said no, but even out today, making sure the trees was in place, the trailer was on site, the grass was down. This was one of the greatest teams, and I'd like to thank you, because the day we actually got the kids onto the field, some of the workers came up and said, you know, you have been one of those people we really don't want to work with. But once the kids came up and thanked us for getting on the field, we understand why you was always battling with us. So Having said that, some of the former athletes and coaches who are here, can you please stand and be recognized? Dunbar grads, yeah. Yeah. One of the great things about this school, I've been running from Curry Thornhill all week. Yeah, literally. Like I turn a corner, I keep asking people, have you seen Miss Thornhill? They said she went that way. I said, good, I'm going that way. Man, this is tomorrow, like 9 o'clock. I'll be the happiest person in America because we will have our first football game here after 3 years of being put on buses, sometimes having to call somebody in a higher place and not God and say, you know what, they told us we can't practice today. And they found that incredible because we were displaced. And to have to tell 40 or 50 kids who were preparing for the Turkey Bowl, in some cases in the playoff, that we had no place for them to practice, and we just found out at 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the day, was somewhat incredible. But people, I think Mr. Hanlon left, people like him and Mayor Gray often, I see you back there, people like him and Mayor Gray made it happen so our kids had transportation to whatever site we were forced to go to, because Dunbar is not one of those places where people say, come to my field and practice. So it was one of those things that was truly a dilemma, and I understand the struggles of having to be displaced, having no place to go, and that was just for football practice. So I thank everyone who assisted us along this journey and help us to get to where we are today. And I look forward to everyone coming out to the game tomorrow and supporting the new game we just put together along with McKinley called the Battle for the North Capitol Street Corridor. We have a beautiful trophy in the lobby of the school that you should go by and look, and the team who wins will get that trophy for the year until the next year. Tickets are on sale where the alumni are selling T-shirts. And I'd just like to thank everyone for coming today, and hopefully everyone will come out tomorrow and support the game.
Thank you so much, Mr. Walker. And yes, he has been avoiding me all week. He's honest and straightforward. We are pleased to let you know that Muriel Bowser is here. The Honorable Muriel Bowser, the Ward 4 representative to the Council and chairperson of the Economic Development Committee of the Council. We were pleased to have you join us at Dunbar for the student assignment and boundary discussion in April of this year. We were pleased to have you join us for a graduation ceremony in June, and now we are pleased to have you join us for this August dedication ceremony. Please come forward and bring greetings.
Well, Carrie, thank you for that introduction. And I want to start by saying congratulations to all of the Dunbar alumni who work hard, fight hard, and stand up for this school wherever I go. And I get to go to all the high schools. And I have to say that Dunbar Alumni Association is a force to be reckoned with. And Mayor Gray, I want to congratulate you on two great events in Ward 5 today. When I came to the Chuck Brown Park unveiling, it was raining, and I was expecting to see a trickle of people. And when I got there, it had to be 500 or 1,000 people in umbrellas celebrating the Godfather. And I know it's not easy to make a commitment like that and deliver on a commitment like that for that community. But I, for one, as a person whose family has been here for 5 generations, I'm thankful that that tribute to Chuck exists in our city. So let's acknowledge Mayor Gray for that great accomplishment. And likewise, this school, I don't even have to say anything about this school and its legacy and really what's important to all the children who will get to come through these doors. You have a dynamic, I don't have to tell you about your dynamic and fabulous principal, but we do know what the role that sports plays in young people's lives, and the investment that we make in these facilities just demonstrates to the young people that your city is with you and behind you in your whole development, academics and sports, academics and the arts, academics and all of the science and technology games and programs and teaching that's going to be there as well. So I look forward to always supporting Dunbar High School. I'm so happy to see this beautiful field. More than that, our beautiful children who are already enjoying it. So congratulations to everybody involved in delivering this project.
At this particular point, first I want to say that, number one, I could not ask for a better set of partners with the Dunbar Alumni Federation. The Dunbar Alumni Federation, to me, is family. We love each other. We will argue with each other. We will fight with each other. We will debate with each other. Oh, we debate with each other. We see things from different lenses, and it's okay. You know, but the wonderful thing about the alumni is, and what you don't know is they have an office right next to mine. And the alumni are here every day. So we are running the school, and they are running the school with us. And when I say with us, they will come and ask different questions, and I say, well, hold on, I got to take care of this. Come on with me now. So I bring them with me just so that they can see we're actually running the building. All right? But with that said, I am pleased to call to the podium the founder and chairman of the Dunbar Alumni Federation to help guide us in the significance of planting of the heritage of the time capsule. We're planting a time capsule today. And I want to bring up our chairman, who will guide us. And I also, he will probably bring up some of his staff people. Am I right, Mr. Pittman? All right. So I want to bring up Mr. Pittman, Mayor Gray, Blanche Smith, Ada Smith, some students and alumni from decade representatives who will join us in planning the designated plot. Come on up.
Ada Johnson. We will assemble over here. Miss Johnson, she's not here.
Oh, come on, Miss Johnson, you're over here.
Yes. We will assemble in the area over here designated for the ceremony of the Heritage Capsule. It's important as we, as alumni of Dunbar, who are standing on the shoulders of decades and decades of legends and pioneers, that we memorialize this day and this event in order to pass it on to others who are coming after us. So, with this installation, we enshrine these documents and artifacts in memory of those students, faculty, graduates, legends, and pioneers who came before us at this institution and contributed so much to the history of Washington, D.C. and the nation. We express to them our utmost appreciation for the irreplaceable heritage left to us as a vital legacy for the benefit of the present and for the future generations. This is our testimony on the 22nd day of August, 2014.
Okay, here we go.
Three, two, one. All right.